Hello, hello. Hello, girls. I'm a little bit late, so whoever is on the live already, please make sure that you let me know in the chat if you're online, or give this video a thumbs up. I'm not really sure if everything is working. Wow, this camera is so bad. I don't understand, but this MacBook camera is really bad. So if you're on the live, make sure you leave something in the live chat. Just let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I know I announced it very last minute, but I hope if you guys can catch it live. I'm gonna give it a few seconds. Awesome. Hi, Ashley. Great. If you're on the live chat, please make sure you leave a note in the chat. Just let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, what time is it where you are. I'm going to wait a few minutes before I start answering the questions, because today's live is a live Q&A. I asked you guys on the newsletter and on my Instagram to send me a few questions. It's a live Q&A about all things commitment. So if you have a question about commitment, definitely make sure you type it into the chat and we'll answer it on here, because I've been focusing a lot on commitment these past few weeks. Ashley, you're watching from Jacksonville. Awesome. Hi, welcome. If you're on the live, make sure you leave your location in the chat. Let me know that if you can hear me, if you can see me. And yeah, and if you have a question about commitment, definitely put it in the live chat. I'm gonna make sure that I answer every question today. So yeah, and I did get some questions over Instagram, so I'm going to go right into them soon. Most of the questions obviously are about commitment, because that's what I asked you guys about. And then at the end, I received a few questions that are a little bit more personal. I will answer them at the end. So if you're watching this live, make sure you leave a comment in the chat. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to go straight in. If you have a question about commitment, make sure you put it in the chat. So the first question I received, I'm not going to read it all because it's just too much, but I'm going to read the question inside that message. I received this message over Instagram and it says, okay, so how can I stop wasting my time with the wrong man and identify the right guy who's ready for a relationship? Okay, I think this question is a really good question, especially if you're anywhere, like your mid-20s or something. I see this a lot, that a lot of us, we kind of get caught up, right, in relationships that aren't really going anywhere. So if you're someone who really wants to have a relationship that is committed and eventually leads to marriage, right, then the best way to actually stop wasting your time is by being authentic. I know a lot of people think when I say, oh, just be authentic, just be yourself, that's actually a lie, or it's just something we say. But trust me, it's not. Being authentic is the number one way to kind of turn off the wrong guys and attract the right one for you. And one thing that I always tell my clients, and just anyone who asks, if you're afraid to be yourself, just think about it. Do you want to be in a relationship for years, right? Because marriage isn't a 1 year, 2 year thing, but for years, even decades, where the person you are with, you can't even be yourself around them. So why even get into a relationship where you feel uncomfortable being yourself in the first place? So the best way to stop wasting your time and stop attracting or entertaining guys that aren't right for you is by being authentic from the beginning, sharing what you really have on your heart, sharing who you really are, and actually standing for what you want. Like, don't try to people please the other person in order to be with them, because guess what? Down the line, if you can never say what you really want, that relationship is not going to go anywhere, because you'll feel dissatisfied. So the best way to stop wasting your time with the wrong guy and identify the right guy is by 100% being authentic and speaking your mind. If you just joined the chat, make sure you leave just a comment in the chat box. Let me know where you're watching from, what time it is, where you are, and if you have any questions. This is a live Q&A, all things commitment. And if you send your question into the chat, I will answer it right away. Okay, the next question was from the newsletter actually, and here it says, I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it's too much. Oh, okay. So basically, there's a real question, but basically, she was with this guy for 6 months, and he wanted her to. His feelings for her weren't there yet, but within these 6 months, they were definitely dating. But he said he wanted her. She was too far away, and he wanted her to. He needed time to catch up first. They were in the same church, same prayer group, same city. So I think if you're watching this, obviously I'm not going to say your name, but I think what I'm understanding here is that you want to know why basically he broke up if everything was going fine, I guess. Because he said I was way ahead of him in terms of feelings. Okay, so here's the thing, because I can see from this message you said that you were ahead of him in terms of feeling, and you were the one who told him that you have feelings for him. So one thing, I understand that there are situations where you've been not in love, but you've been like kind of crushing on someone for a while, and that you really want to get it out and tell the person and see where their head is. And I get it, and I think it's a good thing if you are courageous enough to really tell him, hey, I really like you and I would love to see where this could go. Awesome. Do that, right? I know it's embarrassing at times. I know it can be nerve-wracking, but you want to get your feelings out and you want to give yourself a shot. However, from this conversation, it just seems like you expected him to be feelings-wise to be at the same place as you are. And I think that's where you probably went wrong, because if he's just finding out for the first time that you actually have feelings with him, it could be that he hasn't caught up to that yet. And you have to respect that. Yes, at the same time, you might, be already ready to make it official and go the distance and do all these great things, but you have been daydreaming about this for weeks or months even. So he's kind of caught off guard. So the reason why it didn't work out is probably because he felt the pressure that he needed to be where you are already. And that is usually where I say you have to be able to take a step back, to lean back, the way I call it, and actually let the guy progress the relationship. I know a lot of you are like, oh, this is so like old school. Why do the guys have to do everything? You can call it old school, but the only reason why every dating coach out there will tell you you have to stay in your feminine energy if you want to get with a guy who has masculine energy is because of attraction. It has nothing to do with being old school. It's just the way people are attracted to each other. Guys are attracted when they can be the leader in the relationship. So I guess that's why it didn't work out, because he didn't really feel like he had to do anything in the dating dynamic, and you kind of already took over. So that's probably what it was. I see a question, Ashley. What does it mean when a guy says that you are the one for them? Does a man know right away that a woman is the one? No one knows right away that you are the one. I don't believe that you know right away. I think what happens is you have a feeling in your heart that this person is someone that you can go the distance with, right? I don't believe in just one person, like the one. I believe in knowing that someone is the person you want to be with, but you still have to make a conscious effort, right? It's not enough for someone to just say, hey, you're the one, this is it. No, they still need to show you with the actions and the words that they are willing to work on the relationship. Somebody being the one is not enough to actually make a relationship work. So yeah, I think it's the same as with you. If you feel very strong for someone, that's great, but that doesn't mean that the relationship will immediately work. If you have any other questions, guys, definitely leave it in the chat box. Give this video a thumbs up so that more people get to see it and YouTube spreads it out more. Okay, I got another question. Okay, so this guy, she met this guy a few months ago. They were kind of flirting. But he never asked me out on a date. Should I make the first move? Okay, so here's the thing. Just as I explained earlier, you can make the first move, but it can't be in a way that you are the one setting the date, pursuing the person, chasing the person. The way for a woman to really kind of, kind of give him a hint is by just pointing to the fact that, hey, I really enjoy our conversation. Hey, I really like going to this place. Just basically giving little hints about the things that you like to do, the things that you enjoy about the other person or in general, so that they can take the lead. Again, if you met someone, you've been flirting with this person, but they never asked you out on a date, as a woman, it's not your job to go now take control of the situation, because men that are interested in you will do the first step. They will take the first step. There's no such thing as someone who is too shy. Yes, they're shy men, they're shy women, but if he really wants to try, he will. And if you are the one always making the first step, you run the risk that this is what the dating dynamic is going to be like forever. You run the risk that every time you will be the one planning the date, you will be the one trying to convince him to do stuff. And usually that's not really what women are looking for. Okay, next question. I broke up with my boyfriend a year and a half ago. I can't let him go. I just want to be happy alone, just like you and your pics. Well, thank you. Thank you. I am very happy as a single woman. It's taken a long time to get here, right? I am 31 years old, so I have had my fair share of being a single woman, and I've learned what makes me happy in that season. So for you to be able to get to that point, yes, you have to let go of your ex, for sure. There is no way you can get to a point where you really enjoy being single if you still hold on to him. But at the same time, you can take specific actions to get there. And the way I always say it, and the lighting is slowly but surely giving up on me, so I will turn on the light. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. Anyhow, so the way to get to a point in your life where you truly enjoy being single and just go with the flow of what's happening is by actually finding out who you are. So one of the things that we don't learn as kids, as teenagers, is one, how to date, and two, how to actually create a life for ourselves that we're extremely excited about. And I always say this, the women who attract a healthy relationship are women who have done the inner work to actually attract someone that can add to their life, right? We never want to get into a relationship where the guy is giving you all, like everything, is giving you all your happiness, all your love, everything. So you want to get to a point where you actually cultivate that for yourself. So what I have done personally, I have spent a lot of time with myself, figuring out what makes me happy, what makes me tick. So I can actually intend to entertain myself for days. Like, it's no joke. Quarantine has not been a struggle to me because I have a lot of work to do, but also because I just know what I like. I like to read. I like to walk. I like to run. I'm running now, like for real. And just these things and knowing I can do those every day has helped. There's a new questions. A. Evans. Justine, you're so right. If a man is interested, he would definitely take the... Thank you. Yes, if a man is interested, he's definitely going to take the initiative. So never think that, never try to find like excuses. I think a lot of times what we do is we find excuses like, oh, he's so shy. Oh, he's not this. Oh, he can't. No, a guy that is interested will move heaven and earth to be with you. It's as simple as that. It really is. It sounds unbelievable, but it is. Okay. I have one more question for commitment. If you have any more questions about everything commitment, leave it in the chat box. I have one more question here about commitment, and I'll answer it, and then I'll talk about some of the questions I received about myself. Okay, I feel like I don't know if I answered this question maybe in a different scenario before, or if it's just another question like this, but she's saying, what do I do if my boyfriend does not want to get married? I get this question a lot. And what you want to do is you want to leave the relationship. I know this is never what you want to hear, but the reality is, what are you doing in a relationship that is going to the wrong goal, towards the wrong goal? Like, I always say this, like, imagine you're at a bus stop, right? You get to the bus stop, you have a specific destination in your mind, and then the wrong bus number comes. Are you going to get on that bus and just say, well, let's see if it's going to take me where I want to go? No. You get on the bus that will take you to the destination that you actually want to get to. So we have to we have to stop getting on buses that are taking us nowhere or to a destination that we don't want to go to. So why be in a relationship with someone that doesn't want to get married if you actually started dating because you want to get married? So if that's the situation, you have to get out of it. I don't know how long you guys have been dating for. Cut your losses as early as you can, because obviously, if it's only a year, amazing. If it's 6 years, harder. But at the same time, it's like, if this person never wants to get married, are you just going to abandon your own dreams for life? Like, you are your own person. The other person has his dreams. And that's another thing. Like, guys will not give up dreams for us. Most men will not give up their own dreams for a woman. They won't. But here we are as women, so often we give up our own dreams for them. So if this is you, please, please, please send me another DM message or whatever, so I can look into your specific situation just a tiny bit more. But yeah, if he doesn't want to get married, it's not your job to convince him, right? But also, if that's not what you want, then you need to leave the relationship. Okay, this was all the questions commitment-wise. If you have another question, make sure you leave it in the chat, all things commitment. And I will now actually answer some of the questions I received about myself. And I mostly received it on email. So let me get into my email. Okay. So I feel like I always answer the same two questions. Anyways, what are you doing in Colombia? How did she get there? So what am I doing in Colombia? I currently live in Medellin, Colombia, because I'm a digital nomad. That means I work from home anywhere in the world remotely. So I moved to Colombia because it's a hub for digital nomads. So a lot of people who have online businesses live here. And because my main business is my blog and then coaching and YouTube, I figured this would be great for me to just be in an atmosphere of other online business owners and grow, I guess. Yes. And then here we go. So next question. How long have you been single? I have been single since January 2019, so more than a year and a half now, which is crazy. But yeah, I've been single since then. I've dated. I've been on a few dates. When I was back in Atlanta, I did use Hinge, the online dating app. I really did enjoyed it, but because I was about to move again, I knew this wasn't really what I wanted to do. I didn't want to meet someone and then have to leave. I dated here as well, but I don't really speak Spanish, so it's been harder dating in Colombia. Okay, I think I have two more. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I always have to find the part where it's actually a question. Oh, okay. It's very similar to what I just said. It says, are you dating? If not, why are you not dating? Okay, so same thing again. I'm in Colombia, so I feel like dating has just been very different here. So that is one reason why I'm not really too invested, but I will be honest. I feel very strongly that in this season of my life, I am called to be single. I am someone, I move very much in alignment with what I feel God has told me. So I don't want to rush into anything. My last relationship was kind of like the catalyst to what I'm doing now. And I'm very thankful for that. So that's why I feel like everything that I've learned in that relationship and then being single after and then getting into the role of coaching women to get into healthy relationships is a very focused work. So that's why I believe, to me personally, at the moment, a relationship would kind of distort the experience that I'm trying to to have in order to serve the best. So that's why I'm single, I guess, still. So, and that's, I think I can be very open about it. Like, there are two types of people in this world. I'll be straight up. There are two types of people in this world. There are people in this world who want to be in a relationship, but aren't ready to be in a relationship. And that has to do with multiple things, right? It's not just one thing. And then there's another set of people in this world who want to be in a relationship and are ready for a relationship. Once you want to be in a relationship and you're ready for a relationship will happen. There is no doubt in my mind that if you're ready, you'll be able to put out the energy, the focus, the alignment, the actions that will actually attract relationship to you. But if you're not ready, and that could be for any reason, in my case, for example, is because it's not my priority in life at the moment, you won't attract it. Does that make sense? Like, God doesn't make mistakes. God works in alignment. So if he has a very clear path for you laid out, and that path has a stretch of time that says single, and you're walking this path, you'll be single. But I'm pretty sure that once he prepares you, he will always also provide. So that's what I believe. I feel very strongly about, and that's why I also know that I'm rightfully single. And then last question, you guys. Unless you have a question, leave it in the chat now, because once I'm done, I'm kind of done. And we're already 20 minutes in, so thank you for watching. Okay, last question. I'm struggling to attract good men in my life. I feel like the type of guys that I'm looking for is not the type of guys that wants to be in a relationship. How can I change that? Oh, really good question to actually finish on. Types. Okay. So here's the thing with types. And if you know any of my blog posts, YouTube videos, any content that I put out there, you shouldn't have a type that is anything external. A type like money, looks, job, all these things. If that is what your type is, you will have a very hard time, unless you've done the work, you'll have a very hard time to actually attract what it is you need. Because a type, we usually build our types based on something we want. We want 6 figures. We want 6 feet. We want 6, whatever. You know what I mean? So if that's your type, then it's going to take you way longer to find, in the midst of all these handsome men and successful men, what you actually need, which is a man that is patient, that is kind, that is loving, all these amazing internal attributes. But if you do it the other way around, you flip this thing around and say, I want a man that meets my needs, which is he's patient, kind, compassionate, and empathetic. Hi, Joy, empathetic, and all these things. Then it's so much easier to find someone who doesn't just meet your needs, but actually also has the added benefit of meeting your wants. So the reason why you might be struggling to find men that want to be in a relationship based on your type is because you're choosing your dates based on your type rather than based on, does he want to be in a relationship or not? So I think one of the questions we had in the beginning, if you go on those dating apps based on he doesn't look like he wants a relationship, or okay, maybe we shouldn't judge, right? Maybe we shouldn't judge, but based on the conversations you have and him being like, oh, I'm just looking for a friend, or I'm just looking for a hookup, don't entertain these men anymore. It's not because you're mean, but it's just because, like, why? Why entertain someone, risk falling for this person, instead of just saying, hey, you are amazing and you are the type of person looks-wise that I would look for, but guess what? You don't meet any of my needs. So I think a lot of times that's why. I just realized that last question was actually not about me, but that's okay. So I really hope you guys got something from this Q&A. I'm so sorry for the lighting. As you can tell, this room is definitely not set up for YouTube, anything evening. I do not have a ring light, but I will try to make YouTube lives more of a thing. And I'm thinking Sundays around noon, like in the afternoons. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you leave it in the comments below. And I will be back hopefully very, very soon with another man on this channel, right? Who we can ask like amazing questions about how men think, because we need to know. And yeah, I thank you so much for being on this live. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, please. And I will see you guys next week in my next video. Thank you.